Hey everyone, and welcome back to Everyday English Pod. We know a lot of you tune in because, well, you're looking to really polish your professional English. Whether it's getting ready for a job interview or just feeling more confident in your daily interactions at work.
That's right. And today, we're going to do exactly that. We've taken a look at a fantastic resource packed with real-world American English dialogues.
Yeah, lots of good stuff in there.
For job interviews and all sorts of workplace situations. Our goal in this session is, to pull out the key communication strategies and specific phrases that can immediately boost your professional communication skills.
Absolutely. What's great about this material is just the sheer variety of scenarios it covers. So no matter what kind of professional challenge you're facing, there's likely to be something here that you can take away and use right away.
For sure.
Okay, let's get started by looking at those all-important job interview scenarios. The question you almost always hear first is, could you walk me through your professional background?
The classic opener. What's fascinating here is how the most effective answers don't just list off job titles and dates. They, immediately translate that experience into tangible results.
Right, results.
For example, a strong response might mention, over 5 years in digital marketing, specializing in social media strategy, but then quickly add, leading campaigns that increased engagement by 200%.
Yeah, that number jumps out.
Exactly. The candidate doesn't just state their experience, they immediately translate it into tangible results. This taps into a key principle. Numbers speak louder than, vague descriptions.
Makes sense.
So when you're outlining your history, think, what did I achieve? And quantify it whenever possible. Build instant credibility.
That's such a crucial point. It's not enough to say what you did. You have to show the impact you made. Okay, next up is a question that really tests whether you've done your homework. What interests you about our company specifically?
Oh yeah, this one's important. The answers that stand out here demonstrate genuine alignment between the candidate's interests and the company's direction.
Alignment, okay.
For instance, someone might say, I've been following your innovative work in sustainable technology, and I'm particularly impressed with your recent initiatives in renewable energy solutions.
So, showing you're paying attention.
Exactly. The critical insight here isn't just doing your homework, it's about demonstrating alignment. The candidate isn't just listing facts about the company, they're showing how their interests intersect with the company's direction.
Got it.
Think about how your values and goals resonate with the organization. How can you show that you're not just looking for any job, but this specific opportunity,
That makes perfect sense. You need to show you're invested in their specific mission. Now, let's talk about a pressure cooker question. How do you handle tight deadlines and pressure?
The stress test. The responses that work best here illustrate a structured approach, not just claiming, I work well under pressure.
Right. Show, don't just tell.
Exactly. A good example would be someone saying they focus on maintaining detailed project timelines and prioritizing tasks effectively, and then backing it up with a concrete example. For instance, last year I successfully managed 3 concurrent product launches.
Nice. Specific example.
This isn't just a theoretical answer, it's grounded in experience and showcases proactive organizational skills. It shows you don't just react to pressure, you actually have systems in place to manage it.
Right. It's about demonstrating your ability to stay organized and effective even when things get hectic. Another common interview question is, could you describe a challenging situation you faced at work?
This is your chance to highlight your problem-solving abilities. A strong example would be describing a major platform crash right before a client presentation. But the key isn't just the problem.
It's the solution, right?
Precisely. The solution. I quickly assembled a crisis team and developed an alternative presentation strategy. This demonstrates quick thinking and resourcefulness in a high-stakes situation. What's important to note here is the focus on action and results. What did you do, and what was the outcome?
Exactly. It's about showcasing your initiative and how you can turn a negative situation around. Moving on, interviewers often want to get a sense of your interpersonal skills with the question, what would your former colleagues say about you?
The best answers here focus on positive, collaborative traits. Someone might say they'd likely highlight my collaborative nature and ability to bring different teams together to achieve common goals.
Teamwork focus.
Right. This emphasizes teamwork and the ability to work effectively with others, which is crucial in almost any professional environment. Instead of just listing adjectives, try to frame your answer around specific behaviors and how they contributed to team success.
Good tip. And then comes the future-oriented question. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
The ambition check. The answers that make an impact show ambition and a forward-thinking mindset that aligns, at least in a general way, with the potential trajectory within this new company.
So not just any ambition, but relevant ambition.
Exactly. For instance, I aim to develop into a strategic leader in digital innovation, hopefully managing a team and driving technological advancement in the industry. It's important to show you have career goals and that you've thought about your professional development.
Okay, staying current is also key in many industries. Hence the question, what's your approach to staying updated with industry trends?
Yes, continuous learning. The most convincing answers provide concrete examples of your commitment, saying, I read industry news isn't as strong as...
Something more specific.
Right, like, I regularly attend webinars, subscribe to leading industry publications, and participate in professional networking groups to stay current. This demonstrates a proactive effort to stay informed in a dynamic field.
Makes sense. Now, company culture is a big deal for a lot of organizations. So how would you contribute to our company culture is a common one.
Definitely. The answers that resonate here go beyond just saying you're a team player. They show a proactive approach to fostering a positive work environment.
Like how?
For example, I believe in fostering an inclusive environment and would actively contribute by organizing team-building activities and mentoring junior colleagues. This shows you're thinking beyond just your individual role and considering the broader workplace dynamic.
Right. It's about showing you're willing to invest in the team and contribute to a positive atmosphere.
Yeah.
And of course, the interview isn't just a one-way street. The question, what questions do you have for me about the role, is your opportunity.
Huge opportunity to show engagement and critical thinking. The questions you ask can reveal a lot about your level of interest and your understanding of the role.
So what kind of question is good?
Asking thoughtful questions like, I'd like to learn more about the team structure and the key priorities for the first quarter, demonstrates your interest in understanding the specifics of the role and the team you'd be joining. Avoid asking questions you could easily find the answer to online. You know.
Good point. Finally, the often delicate topic of salary. What are your salary expectations?
Ah, yes. The best approach here is to be informed and confident. Giving a range, such as $80,000 to $95,000 annually, based on my experience and market research, shows you've done your homework and are clear about your value.
A range, not a single number.
Generally advisable, yes. Provide some flexibility.
Okay, let's shift gears now and look at some general workplace interaction scenarios. One common question, whether in an interview or just a casual conversation, is what motivated you to apply for this position?
Right, similar to the interview question, but maybe less formal. The key here, as effective answers demonstrate, is to connect your personal career goals with the company's values and mission.
That alignment idea again.
Exactly. Saying something like, I was drawn to this role because it aligns perfectly with my career goals in project management and your company's commitment to innovation really resonates with me, shows a genuine connection. It shows you're not just looking for any job. This idea of alignment simply means showing how your skills, interests, and values match the company's needs and mission.
Exactly. It's about showing a genuine interest beyond just needing a job. Another crucial area is handling challenges. The question, tell me about a time when you had to overcome a significant challenge at work, is very telling.
A strong response here illustrates your problem-solving process and your resilience. For example, describing a sudden budget cut.
Ouch.
Yeah. And then explaining, I initiated cost-saving measures and reorganized our workflows, which ultimately led to a 30% reduction in operational costs, showcases specific actions and positive results. Again, focus on the how and the what of your actions.
We touched on it earlier in the interview context, but the ability to handle working under pressure comes up frequently in various workplace situations.
And the consistent message is the importance of prioritization and clear communication. A good example reinforces this. I prioritize tasks effectively by creating detailed schedules and maintaining open communication with team members to ensure we meet our deadlines without compromising quality. It's about showing you have strategies, not just grit.
You have a plan.
Exactly. To manage demands effectively.
Now, thinking about your accomplishments, the question, what would you consider your greatest professional achievement? Is a good opportunity to really shine.
For sure. The most impactful answers often include quantifiable results. For example, my proudest achievement was leading a cross-functional team that successfully launched a new product line which exceeded our sales targets by 45% in the first quarter.
Wow, 45%, that's specific.
Quantifiable achievements provide concrete evidence of your impact, makes it real.
Dealing with disagreements is also a natural part of professional life. The question, how do you deal with conflicts in the workplace, is an important one.
Very. The answers that work best demonstrate strong interpersonal skills and focus on finding solutions, saying, I believe in addressing conflicts directly but diplomatically. I focus on active listening and finding common ground to reach mutually beneficial solutions, highlights a mature and effective approach.
Active listening seems key there.
Absolutely. By active listening, we mean fully concentrating on what the other person is saying, understanding their perspective, responding thoughtfully, and remembering the information later. It's not just waiting for your turn to talk.
Got it. Similar to the interview question, what are your long-term career goals? Can come up in broader workplace discussions, especially with managers.
Right. Performance reviews, development talks, and the underlying theme remains the same, showing ambition and a desire for growth within the professional realm. An example might be aiming to develop my leadership skills and take on increasing responsibilities in project management while contributing to organizational growth.
Shows you're invested long-term.
Exactly. It shows you're thinking about your future within the company.
Thinking about the environment where you work best. The question, can you describe your ideal work environment, can reveal a lot about your preferences and how you might fit into a team.
The answers that are generally well-received emphasize collaboration and support. For instance, I thrive in a collaborative environment that encourages innovation and open communication, where team members support each other's professional development.
Sounds like a positive place.
It signals a preference for a positive and growth-oriented workplace.
Receiving feedback is also a key part of professional growth.
Yeah.
How do you handle feedback and criticism is a common question, especially in performance reviews.
Yeah, and how you answer says a lot. The answers that demonstrate a growth mindset are the most effective, saying, I view feedback as an opportunity for growth and actively seek it out. I carefully consider all suggestions and implement changes to improve my performance, shows a willingness to learn and develop. Not getting defensive.
Right, seeing it constructively. Maintaining a healthy balance is crucial for long-term well-being and productivity. The question, what strategies do you use to maintain work-life balance, is increasingly important for many professionals.
Very much so. The examples that resonate often include practical strategies. For instance, I maintain a healthy work-life balance by setting clear boundaries, prioritizing tasks effectively, and ensuring I stay organized and efficient during work hours.
Boundaries are key.
It shows you're proactive about managing your time and energy, not just letting work consume everything.
When you're trying to land a role or take on a new project, you might be asked, why do you think you would be the best candidate for this position?
Your closing argument, in a way, this is your chance to summarize your key strengths and how they directly align with the opportunity, highlighting a combination of factors.
Like what?
Such as, my combination of relevant experience, strong problem-solving skills, and proven track record of exceeding targets makes me well-suited for this role. It provides a concise and compelling argument. Connect the dots for them.
Now let's delve into some more specific workplace scenarios. When faced with a problem, you might be asked, could you describe your approach to problem solving?
A concise yet effective answer here demonstrates a structured way of thinking. Simply saying, I follow a systematic approach, implies a thoughtful and organized method for tackling issues. You can elaborate if needed, but that's a good start.
Okay, systematic. In team projects, roles can vary. What role do you typically play in team projects? Is a common inquiry to understand your collaboration style.
An answer that shows adaptability while also highlighting a natural inclination is often effective. For example, I'm adaptable and can take on various roles, but often find myself naturally stepping into a coordinating position, ensuring everyone stays aligned with project goals. Shows flexibility, but also self-awareness.
Makes sense. Managing multiple demands is often necessary in the workplace. The question, how do you prioritize multiple competing deadlines, is a key one.
Definitely. A clear process is what people are looking for here. Describing how you assess each task's urgency and importance, create a detailed timeline, and communicate proactively with stakeholders if any adjustments are needed demonstrates strong organizational skills.
Communication is crucial there too.
Always. Especially if timelines shift.
Understanding your strengths is also important for self-awareness and career development. What's your greatest professional strength is a direct question that requires introspection.
Focusing on a key interpersonal skill can be powerful. For instance, my strongest asset is my ability to build and maintain strong relationships across departments, which helps facilitate smooth project execution. That highlights a valuable collaborative ability, something most companies want.
Good one. Staying organized is fundamental in any professional role for productivity and efficiency. How do you stay organized in your daily work is a common question.
Yeah, seems basic, but it matters. A good answer often highlights a blend of methods, saying, I use a combination of digital tools and traditional methods, maintaining detailed to-do lists and regularly reviewing my priorities to ensure nothing falls through the cracks, shows a comprehensive approach.
Tools and habits.
Right, both.
Showing genuine interest in your industry can demonstrate your long-term commitment and passion. What interests you about our industry is a way to gauge this.
Conveying enthusiasm and an understanding of the industry's potential is key. For example, I'm fascinated by the rapid innovations in this sector, and the potential to make a meaningful impact on how businesses operate shows a real intellectual interest.
It's okay not to know everything, and how you handle those situations is important. The question, how do you handle situations where you don't know the answer, is about your resourcefulness and honesty.
It's very important. Demonstrating a proactive approach to finding solutions is crucial. Saying, I'm not afraid to admit when I don't know something. I actively seek out resources and expertise from colleagues to find the right solution shows humility and a willingness to learn. Doesn't mean you give up.
Right, you find the answer. Understanding what drives you professionally can provide insights into your work ethic and motivation. What motivates you in your work is a personal question with professional implications.
Focusing on tangible impact and intellectual stimulation often resonates well. For example, I'm driven by the opportunity to solve complex problems and see the tangible results of my efforts in improving business processes. Highlights key motivators that are usually valuable to employers.
Problem solving and results.
Common themes, yeah.
Adaptability is increasingly crucial in today's rapidly changing work environment. How do you adapt to change in the workplace is a common query.
Showcasing a positive attitude towards change is important, saying, I embrace change as an opportunity for growth and learning. I stay flexible and help others adjust by sharing knowledge and best practices, demonstrates a valuable mindset. Not resisting change, but leaning into it.
We touched on questions about company culture earlier, and they often come up in various contexts.
Right, and the focus tends to be on professional development and collaboration, as seen in questions you might ask, like, could you tell me more about how the company supports professional development and what opportunities exist for cross-departmental collaboration?
Questions for them again.
Exactly. These questions show you're thinking about your growth within the organization and how you'll integrate.
Lifelong learning is essential for staying relevant in your field. How do you approach learning new skills is a question about your commitment to growth.
Highlighting proactivity and a practical approach is key. For instance, I'm proactive about my professional development, setting aside time each week for online courses and practical application of new skills in my work. Shows dedication.
Making time for it.
Yes, intentional effort.
Reflecting on past experiences can provide valuable insights into your learning and growth. What has been your biggest learning experience in your career? Can provide insightful answers.
Sharing a story where you learned from a challenge is powerful. Admitting a mistake even. For example, managing a project that initially failed taught me valuable lessons about risk assessment and the importance of early stakeholder involvement. Shows self-awareness and the ability to learn from setbacks.
That takes some courage to share.
It does, but it's often very effective.
Looking ahead to your near-term future, where do you see yourself in 3 years? Helps gauge your short-term career vision within a potential role. Shorter time frame than 5 years.
Right. Focusing on skill development and taking on more responsibility is a good approach. For example, I aim to have developed expertise in strategic planning and be leading key initiatives while mentoring junior team members. Shows ambition and a desire to contribute relatively soon.
Staying current, as we've discussed, is an ongoing professional responsibility.
And the methods for staying current are varied, including attending industry conferences, participating in professional webinars, and being an active member of several professional networking groups. It's about showing you're actively engaged with your field.
Understanding your preferred work style can help you thrive in the right environment. What kind of management style do you respond best to is a relevant question to consider.
Highlighting a preference for autonomy within clear guidelines often resonates well. For instance, I work well with managers who provide clear objectives while allowing autonomy in how to achieve those goals. Communicates your preferred working dynamic direction, but freedom.
Trust and clarity.
Exactly.
Demonstrating your ability to learn quickly is a valuable asset in today's fast-paced work environment. Tell me about a time you had to learn something quickly can showcase this.
Sharing a specific example where you rapidly acquired a new skill and applied it effectively is key. For instance, when our company suddenly adopted a new CRM system, I immersed myself in training materials and became the team's go-to resource within 2 weeks. That's a strong illustration of quick learning and taking initiative.
Became the expert quickly.
Right.
How you define and measure success in your role can provide insights into your work ethic and values. How do you measure success in your role is a key question to consider.
Considering both quantitative and qualitative aspects provides a well-rounded answer. For example, I focus on both quantitative metrics like project completion rates and qualitative aspects like team satisfaction and client feedback. Shows a comprehensive view of success, not just hitting numbers.
The what's and the how.
Precisely.
Knowing what you need to excel in a role demonstrates self-awareness and a proactive approach to your career. What training or resources would you need to excel in this position is a thoughtful question.
Identifying specific areas for development, such as leadership skills enhancement through management training and certifications, shows a desire for growth and a commitment to excellence. It also shows you've thought about the role requirements.
We've touched on managing competing priorities before, and it's a common challenge in many professional roles.
And the strategies for managing these situations remain consistent. Assess urgency and impact, communicate with stakeholders, and adjust timelines when necessary to ensure optimal outcomes. It's a recurring theme because it's so critical.
Reflecting on mentorship experiences can provide valuable insights into your professional development. What's the most important thing you've learned from a mentor is a good question to ponder.
Highlighting the impact of strong professional relationships and broader business thinking is often insightful. For example, the value of building strong professional relationships and always considering the broader business impact of decisions demonstrates a valuable takeaway, shows you learn from others.
Effective team communication is essential for collaboration and productivity. How do you ensure effective communication in a team is a crucial question for team dynamics.
Outlining specific strategies for clear and open communication is key. For instance, I establish regular check-ins, use clear documentation, and adapt my communication style to different team members' preferences. Shows a proactive approach to keeping everyone informed and engaged.
Adaptability again.
Yes, adapting your style.
Collaboration is often the key to achieving significant results in the workplace. Describe a successful collaboration you've been part of. Allows you to showcase your teamwork skills.
Sharing a specific example where cross-functional teamwork led to a positive outcome, such as improving customer response time by 40% through cross-departmental coordination, highlights the impact of collaboration. Again, numbers help.
That 40% improvement is tangible. Disagreements are inevitable in any workplace. How do you handle disagreements with colleagues is a question about your conflict resolution skills.
Emphasizing an approach that focuses on understanding different perspectives and finding common ground is crucial. For example, I focus on understanding perspectives, finding common ground, and seeking collaborative solutions. Demonstrates a mature, problem-solving approach to conflict, not just winning an argument.
Seeking solutions together.
Right. With the increasing prevalence of remote work, experience with virtual collaboration is highly valued. What's your experience with remote collaboration is a relevant question. Highlighting successful experience managing virtual teams using digital tools and clear communication protocols is key. Showing you can be effective even when not physically present.
Sharing complex information clearly is a valuable skill, especially when working with people from different backgrounds. How do you share complex information with non-technical stakeholders is a key question.
Emphasizing the use of analogies and visual aids while focusing on the business impact demonstrates an effective communication strategy, making it relatable and relevant.
Avoiding jargon. Influencing others without direct authority is often necessary to get things done in an organization. Tell me about a time you had to influence others without direct authority can illustrate this skill.
Sharing a specific example where you successfully persuaded colleagues to adopt a new approach by highlighting benefits and providing support is a good way to answer this. Show how you built consensus.
Building relationships with new team members is important for team cohesion and a positive work environment. How do you build relationships with new team members is a relevant question for team players.
Emphasizing proactive steps like scheduling one-on-one virtual or in-person meetings and actively seeking collaboration opportunities shows initiative in integrating.
Making an effort.
Exactly. Ensuring everyone feels heard and valued in meetings is crucial for inclusive teamwork. What strategies do you use to ensure everyone's voice is heard in meetings is a key question for facilitators. Suggesting structured agendas and actively encouraging participation, perhaps by specifically asking for input from quieter members, demonstrates effective facilitation skills, creating space for all voices.
We've touched on handling negative feedback before, and it's a continuous aspect of professional growth.
Right, and the focus consistently remains on viewing it as a growth opportunity and developing action plans based on the feedback received. It's about the follow-through.
Empathy plays a significant role in effective communication and collaboration in the workplace. What role does empathy play in your work style? Is a thoughtful question.
Highlighting its crucial role in understanding team members' and clients' needs, leading to better collaboration and more effective solutions, demonstrates its importance. It's not just about tasks, but people.
Well, that brings us pretty much to the end of our exploration into these various professional communication scenarios in American English. It's clear that thoughtful, clear, and confident communication is really a cornerstone of success in the modern workplace.
Absolutely. The examples we've discussed provide valuable insights into not just what to say, but maybe more importantly, how to approach these common professional interactions, in a way that builds confidence and achieves positive outcomes.
And we really encourage you to take some time to think about these scenarios and how you might adapt these strategies to your own professional life. Even small tweaks to your communication can have a pretty significant impact on how you're perceived and how effectively you can navigate your career.
That's right. Remember, effective professional communication is a skill. It's something that can be developed and honed with practice and conscious effort. It doesn't always come naturally.
Good point. So as you reflect on all the different workplace situations we've covered today, what's one specific communication technique or approach that you feel most inspired to incorporate into your own professional interactions? That's something worth considering.
Good question to leave folks with.
Thanks so much for joining us for this session on Everyday English Pod.